If you're watching this right now, it's been a while since I did another one of these videos. I'm a little sick right now, but I felt like I needed to do one of these. It's not been a most comfortable week for me, and I'll explain why. See, I love this life. I really do, and I like how things are right now. But I know it's not going to last. People grow older. Things tend to change a lot. And we miss out on a lot of things during our life. I've been reminded that I'm mortal and that I'm still aging. I'm only 20 years old. I got plenty of time. And time itself doesn't really move so fast the way I think it does. At least I hope so. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this body of mine, it's eventually going to die out. And eventually it's going to degrade into nothing but dust. That scared me a lot, knowing that I would be gone entirely until there's nothing left. None of us are bound to live forever. We shouldn't try to live forever. We should enjoy our lives. That shouldn't be what really scared me, though. Because the more I thought about it, the more it drove me back into anxiety when I first thought about this. I had to remember that this world is not the end for me. It shouldn't be the end for anybody. As a believer in Jesus, in God, I realize it's just a step forward, I should say. That means eternity awaits us in one or two places, either with God or within the lake of fire. That's what really scared me. I like to believe that there is a chance for me to go into heaven. But the more I thought about it, the more I grew concerned about how I lived this life. I'm not sure what's going to happen or when I'm going to die. And we also have to come to realize that this world is following biblical prophecy at such an accelerated scale, I should say. We're seeing chaos around the world. Events foretold in the Bible. War, pestilence, famine, disease. A whole lot of stuff that the Bible said exactly how it would go in these days. As a believer that we are living in the end times, it makes me more concerned as to whether I'd be left behind and persecuted for my faith. If that's to happen, so be it. I'm more than willing to die for my faith. I'll never submit to what this world is accepting in corruption. But what really scared me is just today I saw a message much greater than the ones that I would post. Very similar to those I've seen before. I saw a man experience what the day of judgment would be like for a soul. People acknowledge that they do things in the name of God, but then it all falls apart when he says that he never really knew them, that their actions were their own, that they sinned and they never even realized it. And even then do they continue to sin by rejecting what the Word of God has to say. what God himself has to say. And because of that, their books are not written in the book. Their names are not written in the book of life. I'm sorry, I'm really sick right now. And they're cast off into the lake of fire. It made me realize so much. I know I'm not bound to live forever, but if my life was to be cut short, if I'm to face God right now, I would be scared. Because the life I've lived, I'm not going to deny that I have sinned a lot. I'm probably not the only one, but still, I'm ashamed of every sin I've ever committed. Every sin I commit even now, even every sin I will commit, because frankly, I just can't stop. It's horrible sometimes. It's considered abominable in the eyes of God. If I'm to stand before the Lord, I would just want to confess to every sin I have committed in this life, even sins I forgot about. If God will show me what I've done and I didn't even know it, I'll confess to them as well, and I will beg God for forgiveness. Even if my faith is in vain, if I'm to be dragged away to God in chains and cast off into hell, so be it. I probably had it coming. I definitely had it coming if that happens. But I would never stop believing in him. Never stop putting my faith in him. He saved me when I needed it. He pulled me away from anxiety. He gave me something to believe in. But I've never really done anything to earn his forgiveness. I ask him for so much, but I don't really seem to return the favor. I'm a lukewarm Christian. I will admit that. I have one foot in the world, one foot in the church. I've done many things that God would find very horrible and disgusting. And it would be enough for him to reject me. And despite all that, I would still try praying to him, doing so many things that I would want for him that I would want for it to be in his name. But when the truth comes out and he condemns me, and I would know that I've done wrong. I know that I'm doing wrong now with what I've done before, what I'm going to be doing later. I want to truly be reborn. I'm going to be honest. I've never really heard him. I've never really had a sign from him. I told you before, I had a dream where I thought I heard a voice talking about how Jesus is returning soon. I'm not really sure if that was coming from God or if it was just my own imagination. I don't know how this works. I don't know everything. I only do so much, talk about it so much, but I haven't really given myself to him completely. I've fallen short of his glory. In times like this, I really wish I was more committed to him, if anything else. I don't know what's going to happen to me or to anybody else. Whatever God has planned for me, well, I just say that we receive the due rewards of our deeds. I put my faith in God, and whether it's in vain or not, I just want to believe in him. I want him to forgive me. I beg for him to forgive me. I will confess to every sin that I've ever committed, and I pray that others do as well. We're living in dangerous times, that is for sure. Times where people will be filled with anxiety, with a whole lot of conflicting emotions, where things will happen around the world, and even though they don't affect us now, they will definitely affect us later. Eventually, we're all going to face a horrible amount of oppression unless we submit to this so-called new system that some people have planned. If you do that, then chances are you're not going to be saved. If you find yourself during times of tribulation, while lots of other people are suddenly disappearing off the face of the earth, your future here is going to be horrific. Only way to save yourself by then is if you are willing to die for your faith. Because you will be persecuted and executed. When that happens, you better hope that you are truly committed, truly faithful, putting yourself, everything that you are, into God. If God can forgive you, you should also forgive yourself. It's what I need to do. It's what other people need to do. This message may have not been the most powerful or the most heartwarming. I really wish I could have done it better. But I hope people get the gist of it. I don't want anybody to go to hell. But there's no saving yourself unless you truly are faithful, committed to what God has in store for all of you. Everything happens for a reason, and God is that reason. You can't live in sin. You have to live the way Christ wanted you to live. That's what I want to try and do. And I pray that others do it as well. So, for anybody watching this, I'll pray for your mercy, for your salvation, and I pray that you do the same as well. I pray to the Lord that you save all of us during these times, and that we are fully committed to you, that we are faithful towards you, that we are saved by you. And I pray that this message comes out there and that many other people deliver similar ones, stronger ones. I pray that we all confess to the sins that we committed, that we accept whatever punishments we have with grace. And I pray that whatever happens, if God can forgive us, then I pray that we will see paradise one day. No matter what happens. Stand fast in the faith, everybody. Be brave, be strong, and God bless you all.